woke up this morning with the sunrise in my eyes. My rock's sweeter, meet the one I love. I don't know how, don't know why, but I've been toasting all my life. Oh, it's sweeter. I've been toasting all my life.
Welcome to Phillip Island, Victoria in Australia. What a setting we have for this great sporting contest, the Little Penguin Sea to Dune race. Nervous moments always as they gather on the beach, the tension mounting, and away they go. There's the defending champion, wearing his familiar navy blue and white, great waddling style. Another pre-race favourite though, losing touch with the pack. Maybe that's why. A few too many fish in the day's feeding. There's a familiar face, Skip McIntyre, 8 times a champion back in the 90s, a very successful coach now, keeping a keen eye on proceedings. This the leading group, 1 or 2 still able to put on a show for the camera, others just ploughing straight over it. Some resorting to shortcuts. Sad that cheating has crept into this beautiful sport. The judges will have a look at that. But up at the front, the pace is relentless, closing in on those sand dunes that will offer a bed for the night. The fatigue starting to tell. Who's got the finishing kick up on the outside? What a turn of pace from that one, whichever one it is. No answer from the rest, and he takes victory. What a win. There we are, into the Burrow, building an extension with his winnings, and back tomorrow to try and defend his title here on Phillip Island.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Live Penguin TV. My name is Sky. I'm going to be your host for the evening. And tonight we've got a very special producer. His name is Rolly, and he is one of the reasons that we are all here tonight watching the live stream. It's because this was a bit of a brainchild of you, wasn't it, Rolly? And one of our other managers. And he's the reason we're all here. So I want you to give him a lot of love in the comments, and I'll let him talk to you directly, everyone.
Well, that's about the nicest intro I've ever had, and I'm not going to take all the credit, but I have been busting to be on this side of the camera for ages now. Sky finally has let me loose, so I'm going to be in the room with her tonight and looking at all your questions. What I'd love to hear from you tonight is if you've got any of the kids staying up late because it's school holidays, if you've got any questions from the kids, I'd love to see them, and we can see if we can throw Sky a few little curly ones. we'll just be looking at the questions tonight. We're not going to have our team of rangers sort of answering them tonight and tomorrow because they're all busy out there on the stands as we speak. So looking forward to a fabulous evening and have a great time.
All right, and I'm sure we will have a great time, everybody, won't we? So, having a look, you probably haven't seen the stands quite as busy as this before. You can even see that people are out on the beach. Doesn't it look fantastic to sit on the beach and welcome the penguins home? But I am going to cast my eyes out to the water because, of course, today is Penguin Awareness Day, and I'm aware that there might be some penguins out in the water right now that we're going to want to have a look at. And this water, this ocean that we're looking out upon is ocean of the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. They are the traditional custodians of this ocean, of this land, of this country that at least we are sitting on today and coming to you from today. And I'd like to pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. Let us know in the comments where you are watching from today, the country on which you are watching from today. And if you're not sure, now's a really good time to find out and learn. It is an important thing to know about where you live and where you are. So we're coming to you from Bunurong country, as I said. And the penguins will be swimming in through Bunurong Ocean in Bunurong country. So there's penguins out there at the moment. They will be forming into rafts right now somewhere out there in the water. And what I mean by rafts, if you haven't watched this before, what I mean by rafts is that penguins will spend most of the day by themselves in the water, just swimming around, hunting for food. That's where they get their food. They are seafood eaters, our little penguins. And but at this time of night is when they raft up. They gather together in groups. They find each other. And the way that they find each other, of course, is by hucking to one another. Now, if you've been in the comments, if this is your first time and you've been in the comments, you might have been wondering, why is everybody saying huck, huck, everybody? Hi. That means hello in penguin language. And the way that they greet each other, the penguins, is they go huck, 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 huck. And that just means, hey, are you guys ready to go in? I'm ready. Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready to go. And once they're all ready to go in, they'll come swimming in, and you hear it when you're standing on those stands. You hear that as they're coming in. They swim in together, making that huck noise, and they'll probably wash up on this beach just about here. Then we'll probably see them make up their minds a little bit tonight. It's a really clear night. I think we might be waiting a while. I think they might keep us waiting while they decide whether they have the guts to cross the beach. So we'll probably see them standing in the water, walk a little bit, run back into the water, a bit of that to and fro for some time before a group of them has the courage to make the dangerous dash across a fair bit of sand, actually. Since I was last here, this used to be really, really rocky. It does look like we're going to be seeing a bit of a sandy crossing tonight, which is fantastic. The reason I like that is because, of course, penguins, our little penguins, are blue and white, and their colouring does quite blend in with those dark rocks. So for a night like tonight, it's going to be fantastic if they do choose to cross across the sand, because we'll see them standing out really nice and brightly. Then they're probably going to wash up or sort of arrive here on these rocks. Now, some of our penguins are going to take a bit of time to sit on these rocks, preen themselves, talk to each other, relax. Others are going to be heading on home to their burrows. They're going to cross across in front of our Penguins Plus stand here and head on up the hill. And if you look at just above me there, you can see our highway cam. Some of their burrows are here just in front of us there, though. So they'll be heading home to their burrows, whether human-made like the ones on the screen are, or whether penguin-made by digging. What are you? Is that a little? Oh, it's just a burrow. I thought I might have been seeing a bit of a penguin belly. So of course, penguins have white bellies, and that is what we're looking out for, particularly tonight. That is going to be the most obvious part of the penguin that we're going to see. So watch out for their bright white bellies as they make that dangerous dash across the beach. But let's cast our eyes back to the water on this lovely Penguin Awareness Day, so that we can be aware when the penguins arrive. Now, you might be wondering, why is it called Penguin Awareness Day? most people are aware of penguins. They're not that hard to know about, are they, Rolly,
No,
penguins?
I was aware of penguins even before I started working here, Sky.
Yes, yeah, and so was I. In fact, I was aware of penguins when I was just a little child. So why is it called Penguin Awareness Day? So we do have a World Penguin Day, and I think that's about the 20th of March. This is not World Penguin Day. This is Penguin Awareness Day. Oh, and is that a penguin right now that we're getting aware of? Oh, I'm aware of a single penguin. Hello. There we go. So little penguin just in the way there. Yep, and it's realized that it has arrived all by itself, and it is a bit early, and you can see it's making a dash towards the rocks, I reckon, to get some protection. Go back out, penguin. You're too early. You've made a bad choice. Poor thing. Where's the rest of your group? Where's your raft? But no, it's called Penguin Awareness Day, everybody, because it is a day where we talk about penguins and the troubles and the problems they're facing, I guess, the issues that they're coming up against for survival now and into the future. And some of those issues are really big things like climate change, particularly for the Antarctic cousins of these little penguins. Of course, ice is really important for a lot of Antarctic penguins. However, even our little penguins are affected by climate change. Our little penguins, the changing of water temperatures will change their ability to find food, change their ability to nest and molt with different temperatures. It causes all sorts of difficulties for them. So that's a big thing. But also things to be aware of for penguins and how to help penguins are things like responsible fishing. And it's things like reduce, reuse, recycle, and making sure that we're careful with our rubbish. So there's plenty that we're going to talk to you tonight about of everyday little things that you all can be doing to be more aware of penguins every single day in your life, and how you can protect penguins just by little things like the way that you shop, running back, and the way that you eat seafood. But of course, another way that you can protect a penguin is, of course, by adopting a penguin. And if you have a look in the link, the description above, below, wherever it is, you will see a link to our Penguin Foundation, and that is somewhere that you can adopt a penguin. If you haven't already, it is a fantastic gift for a loved one. It is a fantastic gift for yourself. It is a fantastic gift for the world. Adopt a penguin, because not only does it help a penguin, but it helps the ecosystems here in Phillip Island. Oh, has he got a buddy? Yeah, no, they've got a friend. But yeah, what you're doing by adopting a penguin is protecting penguin habitat here on Phillip Island now and into the future. So click that link, go and adopt a penguin. And it supports the work that we do here at Phillip Island Nature Parks. 2 little penguins now on the water's edge, but they're not keen to come in. Why have they come in by themselves? So Phillip Island Nature Parks, we are a self-funded, not-for-profit conservation organisation. Oh, here's some more. Here we go. That's quite a decent raft. That's what we were waiting for. And we survive by people like you coming and visiting the Penguin Parade at night, visiting our Koala Conservation Reserve, visiting Churchill Island Heritage Farm, visiting the Nobbies and Antarctic Journey. And that is how we fund our important conservation, education and research work. And that's one way you can help. Another way you can help, if you can't quite make it to visit us, everybody, is, donate at the Penguin Foundation, because that helps the important work that we do. But that's who we are. And we manage a lot of the beaches here on Phillip Island, particularly the south side beaches and a lot of the natural areas. So we're doing a lot of really good, I'd not say a lot of really groundbreaking science and really big conservation. We've got some really big conservation ideas. For instance, here on Phillip Island, we are fox free, and that is because some really interesting, forward-thinking individuals thought, you know what, I reckon I can rid this island of foxes. I would have thought it was impossible, but here we are, fox free. So just never underestimate what forward thinkers with a big plan and lots of people happy to get involved and to help can do.
So, Sky, I'm going to throw a question in of my own here.
Oh, yes, okay, yep.
Now that you mentioned fox free,
yes.
What are some of the things we've been able to do here since we've been fox free?
Oh, okay. So we became fox free just a few years ago. It took us years and years to get rid of the foxes. Of course, foxes shouldn't be here on Phillip Island. In fact, foxes should not be in Australia. They are not native to Australia. And what foxes do is they hunt for a winter that in Australia never comes. So in Northern Hemisphere countries where there is lots of snow, they will hunt and save their food for when there's not going to be much food later. Of course, in Australia, that snow and those really difficult conditions never come. So these foxes could kill up to about 40 penguins in one night. So we really knew that if we wanted to save the penguins and look after these penguins that we've got here right on the on the screen here, and one's dashing across to join the raft there. We knew we had to get rid of the foxes. And then since getting rid of the foxes, there have been some other benefits. And one of those benefits that I really am proud of is that we were able to release eastern barred bandicoots here on Phillip Island. Now, eastern barred bandicoots are an animal that has essentially become extinct on mainland Australia, and that is because of predation from things like foxes. But here on Phillip Island, because we are fox free, we were able to release these eastern barred bandicoots onto the island, and they are doing fantastically. We've got bandicoots all across the Summerland Peninsula. In fact, if we are lucky, we might even see a bandicoot on the screen tonight. It has happened, not that many times, Rolly, but it has happened on Live Penguin TV a few times, and they certainly are around. We've got them on Churchill Island as well, and we've got them on French Island as well. So they're doing really well, and it's only possible because we are fox free. If we had released them while there were foxes here, they would have all just got eaten by the foxes, unfortunately. So we've been able to do some really incredible things because we are fox free. It was no easy task. All right. So yeah, we've got a little raft that has now become a waddle here on the edge of the water, but just as I predicted, we are seeing that they are running back into the water, running out. They are not willing to make that dangerous dash just yet. It is still probably a little bit too light, a little bit too bright. They probably feel a little bit exposed. And this is the reason why our penguins wait until the cover of darkness to cross the beach. They are worried that with their blue feathers, their dark blue feathers against our golden Phillip Island sand, they are a little bit nervous. Oh, yep, they're all running now. Look at them go. Look at that side to side run as they go. Oh, they're so cute, Rolly. They're nervous that something might see them standing out against the sand. Exactly the reason why I like to watch them cross the sand. They're more visible, yet they're more visible to something that might like to eat them, like a bird of prey, like a Pacific gull. And so they need to wait until these birds go to sleep before they make that dangerous dash. Of course, that blue colouring protects them from predators in the water. That blue helps them blend in perfectly with the water for anything swimming above. Their white bellies help them blend in with the sky behind them for anything swimming below. But yep, at this moment when they're crossing the beach, they are really vulnerable. It's their most nervous time of day, and they're nervously thinking about making the cross right now.
Oh, they're getting close, aren't they?
They're thinking about it.
Yeah. But listen, while we're waiting for them to cross, I've got a quick question here from Jackson and Grace. So
Hi, Jackson and Grace.
A couple of kids staying up late, and we've also got Alex and Lindsay staying up late. Yvonne's little 7-year-old is staying up late, but they don't have any questions yet. They might do. But Jackson and Grace would like to know, what fish do penguins like to eat?
Oh, okay. So penguins love to eat all sorts of seafood. Anything almost that will fit inside their little beaks. But they are the little penguins. So when I call them little penguins, I'm not just saying that they're a little type of penguin. No, that's literally their name. They are the little penguin, Eudiptera minor. And they'll eat all sorts of seafood that fits inside their little beak. And it will be things like anchovies that you might find on your pizza. Things like pilchards, which are a small little fish, but they'll also eat a sort of type of sea jelly called a salp. So, sort of this jelly-like creature that you can find in the ocean. They also love to eat squid as well. So we love to eat calamari. They like to eat squid. And anything notable that I'm forgetting there?
I reckon you got them all in there.
Yeah, they're sort of the favourites. But yeah, look, all sorts of little seafood, little sea creatures that will fit in their mouth. And of course, they have to chase them down. Oh, they're making the dash there. They look like they've got a bit of courage now. They're not too fussy, but yeah, they will eat all sorts of seafood. So then looks like they're making a dash for the rocks halfway across the beach. And I wonder if they will hide amongst the rocks, because it's a bit of camouflage. The word camouflage means they can blend in. We'll see what they do at these rocks. Oh, so we've got an official start to the count, everybody, at 9:10. We've just heard it come through the radio. So, oh, and we've got more penguins have just arrived. Let me zoom out so you can see this huge raft. Whoa! Huge raft of penguins have just turned up on the water's edge. But let's follow this first group across. No, they are not stopping at those rocks. They're just, they're continuing through with a bit of rocky protection on their way to our preening rocks. Yep, they have had the courage. They have made the dangerous dash. The fast ones at the front are making it to the rocks. There's a few laggers at the end. They have spread out now. But they are making it onto safety. They are making it onto the rocks. Oh, it's all kicking off, everybody. Now, what I mean by penguin start time is that we do count our penguins every single night. We do count them. We've got a penguin counter. I'm not exactly sure who the penguin counter is tonight, Rolly. But it might have been Kerry. Does it sound like Kerry?
I think it might be Kerry tonight.
Yeah, it might be a Ranger Kerry who's doing the counting tonight. And her job is to count literally every single penguin that crosses this beach tonight. So it is a really tough job. It actually helps when they spread out like we just saw then. I'm going to just turn my eyes back to the penguins who just arrived. Ah, yep, there they are. Oh, they're not sure about... they're not so certain about it. They're all running back. They got midway across the sand and have gone, nah. Wonder if something spooked them. Oh, wow. And you can actually see the disturbance in the sand. I don't know if I've ever seen that clearly. I think we've always had rocks. Have a look. Their little penguiny feet have really mucked up what was once smooth sand. Come on, camera, focus in. Yeah, it's struggling to focus a little bit there. Let's see if we can get it a bit better. That's a bit better there. But yeah, you can see where their little feet have mucked up the sand. Yeah, there's a fair few of them just based on that sand disturbance alone. So 3 of them have got guts. 3 of them are saying, nah, I'm not waiting for the rest of you slowpokes. I've got chicks to feed. I've got reasons to get home. I'm not waiting for no penguin, they're saying, and off they go. Which is not always smart. You know, I think in human society, sometimes we tend to value being brave and being courageous. In penguin society, it's not the smartest strategy, is it, really? It's sometimes a little bit better to be a bit of a scaredy penguin, isn't it?
Absolutely. A brave penguin is not necessarily going to be an old penguin.
Yeah, exactly right. So those look brave penguins. Do I support them in their choice? Not really. I prefer them to be with the rest of the group, safety in numbers, and go when the rest of the group goes. But of course, that's just one of the many ways our species differs a little bit from penguins. So here they come. They're going again. They're rallying. They've whatever spooked them before. Oh no, it's still a few at the back. Still not so sure, but the rest are... they're powering on. They're not moving quickly. They're moving very cautiously. But we'll see if these guys go. Now have a go at counting, everybody. See if you can guess how many penguins there are in this raft. You're going to need to get your best counting fingers on. So literally right now, Kerry will have her binoculars up like this, and she will be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, as best she can once they cross halfway across the beach. We don't tend to count them until they've got halfway across the beach because, of course, you can see up until about the halfway mark, they could easily run back. Once they have hit the halfway mark, if they're going to run in either direction, they tend to run forward, but not always. We've certainly had a few nights where they've got over halfway and have then, for some strange reason, decided to run all the way back to the ocean rather than just run the few meters left to the land. Can't always understand why they make the choices they make. All right, so this group seems to have really made their decision. They're making their way. They're not going to turn back now. Not the bulk of them at the front there anyway.
They're looking very committed to me, Sky.
Oh, and we've got some penguins above on the highway. Let's switch to them. Let's have a little look at these penguins on the highway. So here they come a-waddling. Hello, little friends. It's good to see you. Lovely to see them up close. Oh, something's making them a little bit nervous up there. And probably my favourite view of the whole penguin parade is their little bottoms as they waddle off into the colony. I love this view of them just waddling along. I love to see them with their flippers out from side to side. I reckon the larger the penguin, the deeper the waddle, the more accentuated the waddle. That's my little rule.
I would make a great penguin, Sky.
Oh dear. Oh, babies. Hello. All right, so we've got some little chicks here who are harassing an adult. Is it their parent? I don't know. I think it might just be a penguin who was rushing past. Can you see that they're really fluffy? Oh, so these are two little chicks that have been lurking underneath the boardwalk here, and we might be able to see them harass almost any adult that comes past. I do not think that adult that they were harassing just then, yeah, that's glass there, so we can't get any closer. Yeah, I don't think that adult just then was their adult, their mum or their dad. Where our baby chicks, our chicks do tend to, they're gone. Do tend to harass any penguin that comes past. They don't mind if it's their mum or their dad. If they, I think they think if they bully hard enough, they can get some food, and they don't tend to. Look, the parents don't tend to feed, or other penguins don't tend to feed chicks that are not theirs. But you can always ask, can't you? Doesn't hurt to ask, doesn't hurt to try it on and see if you can harass them. And you can see those chicks were about the same size as the adults right there. So with a bit of precise pecking at the right place in the face, you might be able to convince a few adults to give up a little bit of food. It's a worthy tactic. Why not?
It always reminds me of the phrase highway robbery. When those little chicks come out, it's like any stagecoach that passes, they're going to try and hold it up.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? If you're a hungry chick, why wait for mum and dad when there's all these penguins coming past with fish in their bellies? So it was really cool to see that so up close then. That's fantastic. We'll have to keep our eye on that backwards facing camera. And of course it is breeding season. We are a few weeks into our second clutch of chicks hatching. So we started breeding our breeding season a little bit early this year, and that means that the penguins have had plenty of time to have one clutch of eggs, grow them up, kick them out of the nest essentially, get them fledged and out of there, and then have another set of eggs, incubate those eggs, and now are starting to care for that second clutch of eggs as well. In fact, we've got Ranger Jordan and Ranger Paula are out in the parade tonight, and they are waiting on some male penguins to come home who've had trackers on their... Oh, we've got more penguins. Who've had trackers on their backs to find out where they're getting their food. They put trackers on 3 females and 3 males in the second clutch, who had their second clutch of eggs, finding out where they're going, where they're getting their food from, where they're going while they're looking after these eggs. The females have all come back and they've got the trackers back. The males haven't come back just yet. So send your love to Ranger Jordan, who you all know and love, and Ranger Paula, who you are going to meet soon. I can't tell you too much about it, but you are going to meet... You are going to meet Ranger Paula before too long. She's one of our fantastic penguin scientists and penguin researchers, and she might be able to tell you all about the trackers at some point that I can't tell you too much about just yet. But never fear, we haven't forgotten you, and we've got plenty planned for you into the future. So this is another big old raft of penguins, a waddle of penguins I should call. Once they hit the land, they are called a waddle of penguins, and why wouldn't you call them a waddle? Look at them waddling. Look at them waddling. They're just waddling along there, heading back, because it is breeding season. So they've all got their, as we've seen, a fair few of them have got chicks that they need to feed. Chicks that are going to peck them on the face when they arrive home and demand some food. And talking of chicks.
Yeah, it's the elephant in the room, Sky. Everyone's wanting to know about Bluey.
Bluey!
What's the Bluey update?
Bluey! Yeah, so we've got a little chick called Bluey on our Burrow cam. If you haven't looked at our Burrow cam, oh my goodness, you need to. So it's on our website, Burrow cam. We've posted about it if you want to scroll back on our social media. But look, it's certainly there on our website, Burrow cam. And it is a camera that goes inside the burrow with one of our penguin families. And of course, on the 28th of December, an egg became little chick Bluey. And we're all really pleased with Bluey. I work during the days, and I usually have Bluey on the bottom of my screen as I work, and I watch the hijinks that Bluey gets up to. And Bluey has been looked after by his mum and his dad. Now, I know some of you have been a little bit concerned because in the last few nights, mum and dad have been curiously absent. They have been not... I don't want to call them bad parents, Rolly. I don't want to throw that out, but I would say that they.
Call, Sky.
Yeah, and I don't want to make that call, Rolly. I'm not at all suggesting that they are bad parents, but I might be suggesting that they've been a little bit neglectful over the last few nights, and there was probably 2 or 3 nights where some of us who watch quite regularly were getting a little bit nervous. That Bluey hadn't had some food for a while. Now, I'm pleased to tell you, for those of you who haven't caught up, who we think is the penguin dad, he did come home last night, and Bluey got a big old feed from dad last night. So we're all breathing a collective sigh of relief that Bluey has not been abandoned. That would be really upsetting for a lot of us who have really grown to love Bluey over his few weeks of life. But we do just want to let you know, if you have been following the adventures of Bluey and his parents, maybe Bandit and Chili, perhaps if you're a fan of the ABC show Bluey, let's flick to the highway, that we are looking after Bluey. Well, we've got our eyes on Bluey, and we're keeping an eye on him or her, and we are, here comes those chicks. So this is what Bluey will look like in not too long. But yeah, we are keeping our eye on Bluey. We are looking out for him or her, and rest assured that we are watching, and we do care. Oh, there looks like there's a chase going on up the top as well. I think we've got 2 chicks on the highway, 2 sets of chicks, and they've got another scene of harassment going on in the background there. Oh, that's a big chick. Oh, whoever is feeding that chick is a very generous parent. They are feeding that chick well, or these chicks are very good bullies, you could suggest, couldn't you?
Yeah. They're pretty persistent.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so these little chicks are running back. They haven't had any luck, but those ones in the distance, they're a little bit mean, actually. They're huge. They're getting fed very, very well. So you can see that these chicks here, you can see they're a little bit fluffy. They haven't got their adult feathers just yet. Well, they're coming through, but they've still got that really sort of looks like a Victorian collar or something.
Yeah, it's
doesn't
like one of those ruffs.
Very rough, very regal. Oh, off they go again. What? Going too fast for me, little chicks. Bluey 1 and Bluey 2. Of course, this is not actually Bluey, but it's a chick that looks somewhat like Bluey. Yep, you can see that pecking. Can you see them going, wait, feed me? Are you my mum? Are you my dad? Now, we don't know if they don't know who their parents are, and that's why they ask, or if they're just trying it on. We don't actually know. We don't know. But luckily, the parents do seem to know who their chicks are. Yep, they've determined that that's not mum or dad, and they're running back to the relative safety of the side there. Oh, it's great to be seeing chicks like this. Oh, thank you for hatching right there. So chances are their burrow might be just underneath the platform that our guests are walking on tonight, which is actually a pretty smart place to burrow because it is nice and shady. So in these hot summer months, it's nice and cool underneath the boardwalk. Have I been saying boardwalk or burrow? Either way, underneath the boardwalk, underneath the platform that we all sit on. Let's cast our eyes back to the main camera. Let's put this back to the home position, and just as I click off it, of course, there's lots of penguins coming, but let's go see what's happening back at the beach and see if we've got any more rafts of penguins coming in. Oh, it's looking like a busy night of penguins, isn't it, tonight? Oh, which reminds me, I should tell you. So if you watched our last penguin live stream, which was on the New Year's Eve, it was New Year's Eve, wasn't it, with Jordan and I, bringing in the new year. We had a grand total of 2,028 penguins turn up. So that is 2028. I would think that maybe a sneaky 7 extra penguins turned up. Wouldn't it have been just beautiful, just chef's kiss. Mwah! If it had been 2021, if it had been 2021 penguins, that would have been perfect. No, 7 extra penguins had to come and spoil it. 2028 we had on New Year's Eve. And last night we had 1,341. And it's looking like it's going to be another good night. It's looking like there's no shortage of, look at that. Certainly no shortage of penguins here tonight on Live Penguin TV. Do we have any questions, Rolly?
Oh, have I got questions for you? I've got a couple of questions, Sky.
Fantastic.
So the first one is from Noz, who is 6.
Hi, Naz.
And Noz wants to know, how did we learn the penguin sound?
Oh, how did we learn the penguin sound? Great question, Noz. So of course, when you're watching the Penguin Live TV, you don't get any noise because these cameras don't have microphones. And if they did, they'd probably catch all sorts of conversations of people on our platforms rather than the penguins, I would imagine. So, we can't really hear the penguins from this stream. But when you come and visit us, Noz, the sound of the penguins is all around you. You hear them as they come swimming in. You hear the then that's the noise they use when they come in, but they make all sorts of different noises once they're on land. So once they're on land, you start to hear noises that sound a little bit more like this. Like that, and sort of like a noise. You also hear sort of kind of noises. You also hear little sort of pat noises as they walk in puddles. What are some other noises you hear, Rolly, out there?
Well, I was going to say, I'm no good at the sounds, but I was going to say to everyone out there, as crazy as that all sounds, Sky's absolutely right. She does a great impression of penguins, and that is what they sound like.
Yeah.
I always think they sound like a donkey braying when they do that sound.
Yeah, they do sound like a donkey, in fact. And a lot of the penguin species do. In fact, I used to work at a zoo in England. And at one point, I thought there was a really, really annoying sound of lots and lots of donkeys. I was like, where is this herd of donkeys that we've got in this zoo? But actually, it was the penguin pool. Yeah, they sound a lot like donkeys, really sort of kind of noises going on. So yeah, all sorts of little noises. The chicks make a different noise as well. Let's go to the highway camera. Chicks make a different noise. They're a lot more high pitched. They're kind of like that, and they sort of make these whinging noises like feed me, feed me, 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 me. Like, think about your best sort of Mom, Dad, I'm hungry kind of noises. They make the perfect penguin equivalent of that. Let's flick around and see them going up the way. Let's see if our troublesome 2 pop out and harass any of these penguins here as they waddle along. Oh, they're keeping their distance. Here they come. As if I'm
back out again.
Are you my mum? So if we could hear them now, we'd hear... Well, they're not very persistent though, are they? They sort of get in the way and then they go, oh, you need to be better at bullying the adults, little ones. You're going to have to be a bit more persistent than that if you want to trick a different adult that's not your parent into giving you some food.
All right, got another question for you, Scarlett.
Oh, yep. So did I answer the question of Noz?
I reckon you did.
Yep, fantastic.
Absolutely.
Good.
So this one's from Rolly. He's only 57 and he was allowed to stay up late tonight. He wants to know, what do you call a penguin in the desert?
Oh, I don't know. What do you call a penguin in the desert, Rolly?
Lost. Cha-ching.
Oh, there we go. We got a little joke in. All right. For those of you who didn't catch it, of course, Rolly is the person who's sitting right next to me. So are we going to can we expect any more jokes, Rolly?
Well, you might. I'm sorry. I'm a dad. I do dad jokes. That's what I do. That's my job. So there is a distinct possibility.
Wonderful. All right. Well, you let us know when you've got another one coming.
Now, this is not a joke.
Ooh, okay.
But can you believe we're supposed to only have 5 minutes left, Sky?
I actually can't believe that. That's gone much faster than I expected. Sometimes it can be hard to fill in the time, and other nights it just slips away from you. And tonight is one of the latter. 5 minutes left, everybody. So make sure if you've got any last questions, get them in. If you want to get a shout out on Penguin Live TV, got 5 more minutes to get that done. In the meantime, as I sort of alluded to earlier, we can't really announce exactly when we will be back on your screens with our next live but rest assured we are going to be seeing you in February, certainly. So it won't be too long between lives, and just keep an eye on our social media, on our Facebook, on our Instagram, for an announcement of when our next live will be. But certainly get excited. At some point in the near future, you might be meeting Ranger Paula for a special event that we've got planned. Because of course tonight is Penguin Awareness, but there's other sort of days that we might be thinking about celebrating into the future. Oh, let's flick to the highway camera. So Penguin Awareness, let's talk a little bit about it. So what are some of the everyday things that you can do to help a penguin in your life? You don't live at Phillip Island, you're not right near them. What can you do? Besides adopting a penguin, another thing that you can do is you can use the Good Fish Guide when you are buying seafood. Now, we've talked about the fact that our little penguins love to eat seafood, but we also love to eat seafood, don't we? And unfortunately, we as humans are not always very careful or very considerate in the way that we catch it. However, some people are. Some people are really trying to make a difference about the seafood that they catch, and you can make smart choices when you are shopping by using the Good Fish Seafood Guide. You can look it up online and they will be able to tell you which, the penguin, the chicks on it, they're running back. They're chasing. That Good Fish Guide can tell you which seafood is responsible and when, which brands are doing the right thing, which brands need to do a bit of work before they're being responsible fish catchers. So that is a really small change that you can make. We don't even need you to stop eating seafood altogether. Just make responsible choices. Look for the Good Fish logo, or look for the logos on the cans, and look at the Good Fish Guide to find out who's being responsible and who's not. Another thing that you can do to help our penguins is at your next outdoor event. Oh, yep, we're seeing some hassling. Your next outdoor event, blow bubbles instead of balloons, or use different decorations outdoors instead of using balloons. Balloons, unfortunately, have the habit of flying away. They don't go all the way up to heaven. They do pop and end up in our waterways and in our oceans. So a really responsible thing that you can do is at your next outdoor event, blow bubbles instead of balloons, and pick other forms of decoration. Find other ways to celebrate your outdoor event. And balloons are okay as long as you use them inside. Although they are plastic, which brings me to my next one, which is reduce, reuse, recycle. Make sure that you, particularly with your plastic, say no to plastic bags, say no to plastic straws if you can. Try and be mindful of avoiding those single-use items. So that's one thing that you can do. Another thing we talked about at the start, climate change is a really big problem for our penguins. In fact, it is probably the single biggest problem issue that our penguins face. So one thing you can be thinking about is using your energy responsibly and encouraging others, particularly big users of energy, to use it responsibly as well and to get it from reusable and sustainable sources. Other little things that you can do that you might not have thought about that help with climate change though, are cutting down the meat in your diet. You don't have to cut it out completely, but try a meat-free Monday. Perhaps think about the fast fashion and the clothes that you buy. Perhaps head to the op shop instead and buy something secondhand, or wear that dress, wear that top again, wear it for a second time or a third time or a fourth time, or until it decomposes like I almost do with my clothes, I've got to admit. There's all sorts of ways that you can be much more sustainable in the choices that you make. And that's really what we want to talk to you about on a day like today, on Penguin Awareness Day. The little things, and a lot of them are really little things that you can be doing every day to make a difference for not only the penguins, but all sorts of marine ecosystems and even non-marine ecosystems, just all of our whole world in general. So Penguin Awareness Day. But yeah, we might be coming to you on some other fun days. Keep an eye on our social media for plans we'll certainly see you in February next at some point, but we can't tell you too much more than that at this point.
Although you can tell Sky is busting to tell you more.
I'm busting to tell you more, but I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed.
All right, quick question for you, Sky.
Yes.
From Alex and Lindsay. Now, this could be a bit controversial and could create a bit of a stir.
Oof.
They want to know who does the best penguin impressions.
Oh,
because we've got you, we've got Megan, we've got Jordan, we've got Stephen, we've got Heather. There are some pretty good impressionists out there.
There are. Look, okay, so I'm going to discount Stephen. He is really tough to get him to actually make the huck noise or any sort of penguin noise. You really have to twist his arm. He's very hesitant to do it. He doesn't like to do it. So I'm gonna take him out of the race. I'm gonna take myself out of the race. Look, I've been doing my best to practice, but I reckon that Jordan and Megan are the queens of it. If I had to pick between those two, though, it is really tough. I think Jordan's really good at the high pitched kind of that one. She does that one so well. But I think Megan's got a really she's got a really wide range of penguin noises that she makes as well. Pretty much, if you've got the Megan and Jordan in the room together, the cacophony that you're going to get there is going to be just it's going to be like an opera. It's going to be like a penguin opera. So I reckon the gong goes to Jordan and Megan. I can't split it. What do you reckon?
Geez, talk about sitting on the fence. No, look, I'm exactly the same as you. Although I'm just seeing here, I'm seeing a comment from one of our rangers, Ebony, who actually reckons Ranger Viv is the best. So we might need to get Ranger Viv in one night.
That's true. Ranger Viv is fantastic at penguin noises. You might have heard of Ranger Viv. She sometimes is the person who answers the questions for you, and she's particularly good at answering kid questions. She's really good at finding a way to explain something in a way that a young child will understand. She's fantastic at that. And so I can imagine, her penguin noises, really, really good. We might have to get Ranger Viv in. As for Megan and as the ones that you've heard, Megan or Jordan, I can't call it. We'll have a penguin noise off, a huck off where we do it and you guys can vote.
I told you to be controversial. Now you know what else is controversial?
Oh, what?
It's that time of the night, Sky.
No.
It is.
All right. Okay. I understand. I get it. As I have said, look, it's not the last you're going to see of us, so never fear. We will be signing off very, very shortly, within the next minute or so, but we will be back sometime in February, which I'm not allowed to tell you more about. So, what do I want to tell you before we go? Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been a pleasure to see you once again. I hope you pay attention to some of the handy environmental tips that we've given you tonight on how to be more penguin aware in your daily life. Make sure if you're interested, if you've got a gift coming up that you do, adopt a penguin or just donate in the link above, below, wherever it is. Head to our Penguin Foundation. Make sure you follow us on social media if you haven't already for more information and more, all sorts of information about everything that goes on here at Phillip Island Nature Parks. Is there anything I need to mention before we say goodbye, Rolly?
I reckon you pretty much covered it, Sky. You're pretty thorough.
All right. Well, it has been a pleasure as always. It is with deep sorrow that we say goodnight. But look, keep commenting, keep talking to us, keep watching Bluey, of course, on the Burrow cam, and we will see you all before too long. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time.